Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 19 on EA Sports. Coming up next, we've got what should be a good one between the monsters of the Midway, the Chicago Bears, and the Minnesota Vikings. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Now we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Chicago Bears and the Minnesota Vikings. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you look at this Vikings ball club. They've got to be pleased with the start to this season. Obviously, a perfect 3-0.
3 good quality wins, too. It's got people in the locker room excited. They're thinking that this could be their year.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Bears, they come in 0-3 and in desperate need of a win.
And as a team, you start to feel a little bit snake pit. They need something good to happen right now so they know it's not just them. They think they have the makings of a good team.
Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. And a glance here at the man calling the plays under center, their 6'4" quarterback.
And what I'm looking for from him today, the things every quarterback is looking to do. Lead his team to a victory. Doesn't matter whether he's throwing it, running it, handing it off, however he has to do it, as well as exhibiting some leadership, that's what he's trying to accomplish.
Now let's go!
The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. And the offensive starters for the Vikings.
For a lot of people, there are pros and cons to playing close to home in the NFL. But for Adam Thielen, it's nothing but pros. Grew up not too far from the Twin Cities, loves being a Viking, and is a really dependable third down receiver.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30.
Now let's go! Blue 90! Blue 90!
On 2nd down, Cook. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
They go play action here on 1st down. And he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags. And I believe this is going to be a 1st down.
Face mask. Defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage.
Hurry up, here we go! Blue 90! Blue 90!
Cook following the penalty. That's 30 yards now in the last 2 plays. Back-to-back 15-yarders, and they're rolling. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
Here we go now. 3-19.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Open here, Adam Thielen. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. The numbers for Thielen in that game last week: 6 catches, 72 yards.
And most teams mark down big plays as ones that gain 10 yards or more. He certainly has big playability, and we just saw it on display.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Call it no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
To throw on 3rd down, McMillan. And probably the wise decision there. No one open. He just throws it away. And that keeps the field goal on the table as it's 4th down.
Well, that was excellent coverage right there. And he definitely did the right thing, showing that discretion is definitely the better part of valor. Threw it away, preserved the opportunity to kick for a field goal.
And excellent coverage. And right now the human is controlling the defense, so good job, human. And his kick here is good. And the Vikings have a 3-0 lead. So a pretty good opening drive. That'll make the home fans somewhat happy. They wanted 6, but they got 3 in the early lead.
And they should be happy. The guys look good getting down the field. That's got to give them a little bit of hope that good things are in store here today for them.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at their own 23. Here's the first carry for Tariq Cohen. And right away, he lost the football. But the Bears look to get this one back, and indeed they did. So they'll keep possession.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get them home. The next guy comes through. And
he rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 32. And the return will stop right around the 25.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
First down, here's the run with Colt. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
That one whistled against a big right tackle.
You'd think being able to fire out and block would be a lot easier to not commit a holding penalty, but it's tough to keep those guys right in front, isn't it?
Looking to throw. McMillan over the middle here to Rudolph. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. Only 2 yards on the completion at 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
All right, here we go. Boom, landed.
Throwing on 3rd and long. McMillan looking for his tight end Rudolph, and it's intercepted. Picked by Nick Kwiatkowski. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, it's 3rd and long, and you've got a few different ways to play it offensively. But this is not the type of offense that's going to wave the white flag. They're going to keep chucking it. And this time, it results in an interception.
Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. Give him 6 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll get him down here at the 23. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
A first carry now for Jordan Howard, and he'll get this one up to the 26. The tackle goes there to Linval Joseph.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
And this one's incomplete. Allen Robinson, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down.
Well, you got a young quarterback. Maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that, because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best, their arm. He's slinging it on this one. Had a wide-open target, but didn't have the proper footwork to increase his accuracy.
On 3rd down, this is Howard. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Off the corner. Where'd he come from? Well, yeah, I guess he came off the corner, but really nice play.
I like when you're able to pose a question and answer it at the same time. That's exactly where he came from, but it's not something that you normally see. And most of the time, we're thinking about those guys covering pass catchers. In this case, he was a big factor in the run game. No gain.
Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious, because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route.
Back to throw. McMillan. Wide open receiver, complete. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line. Just shy of the 20. A good pickup there at 22.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that?
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up, because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here.
Now let's go. 3-19.
Operating from the gun, McMillan. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Adam Thielen, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. And his kick is good.
I think if you pulled defensive backs, they would say the corner route, take that out, make it illegal, because that is so hard to recognize and so hard to adjust, because your first move is to not get beat in the middle of the field, and that's how they move you first before they break off to the corner.
But then as the wide receiver, great job. It's tough to turn those upfield and go, but he did a great job with it there.
Really good balance, really good body control, And how about the end result? A touchdown.
The Bears offense now getting ready to take over. And it's been a rocky start for them thus far. They had the turnover and then the punt on those first 2 drives.
So there is optimism because they've improved, right? Turnover, you just noted it on the first drive.
Punt's better than the turnover.
The punt is better on the second one. Now they're hoping to turn into first downs and hopefully points.
They'll look to throw here. And his throw is going to be incomplete. He was looking for the tight end, Adam Shaheen, that time. And that'll bring up second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. A big hitter there, a first down gain of 26 yards.
Well, partner, I have to say they called him in the right defense there. Nickel set, 5th defensive back on the field, and they love to run against that because now you typically get a bigger blocker on a smaller defender.
Yeah, because those DBs like you, they want the interception. They're not as worried about the running play, right?
Not at all. And I still remember being in school, and one of my offensive line teammates used to say, boy, I'd love to come downfield and hit you little people.
Good run there.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys were sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
He lost 4 there, and it's third down. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively.
All right, now, look at 56. Look at...
They'll set up to throw. And they'll find Shaheen, the tight end. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. His first catch, good for 14 there and a first down. So on that play, defense was in the zone. They ran a crossing route offensively, but the defense there, you got to be good with communication, don't you?
You certainly do, and it's not something that is really evident.
And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Trey Burton, his second touchdown on the season. And the Bears draw a bit closer. And nowadays in NFL football, you have to account for all the receivers, sure, but the tight end's such a weapon, and they prove it right there.
Oh, without a doubt. And we're seeing now the golden age of tight ends catching the football. I go back to Kellen Winslow. To me, he was a prototype of what we're seeing today. We're seeing it each and every week now.
Caleb Sturgis now for the point after. Sturgis for the extra point, and that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. Sturgis out now to kick this one off. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that, they had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were competent enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be...
And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack.
Well, there's your first ROI, right? Return on investment of their first-round pick. His first NFL sack, I know they want him to be an impact player right out of the gate.
A lot of pressure to put on a young man, but I think you agree he has the ability to deliver on it.
And he just did. Probably the first of many sacks in a long career.
Yeah, nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets him back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are, figure out the things that they really want to accomplish, and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. A nice job on the return there. 16 yards. And the Bears take over. Back out onto the field comes Allen Robinson. Hasn't had his best day to this point here in the second quarter, and they're losing. You got to think, though, That also means that maybe the defense doing a good job on him. There's two sides to that coin.
I would agree, so you have to give them credit, but that means you've got to find a way to beat that defense and make sure one of your top playmakers touches the football and has an impact on the game. Change formations, change where he lines up, put him in motion, anything possible to shake him free.
Maybe that greater impact comes here on this drive. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Running with Howard. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
That's how you get right up off of the mat, because on the last play, they stoned him in the backfield and dropped him for a loss. But he's the type of guy that scared me a little bit because he's not daunted. Just got right back up, showed some confidence, and picked up a first down with his very next run.
Detroit! Detroit!
They'll look to throw now on first down. And the hook up here to Allen Robinson. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Allen Robinson, his second touchdown on the season. And the Bears are in for 6. And on that one, able to catch it, also able to have the wherewithal to take it in for the score.
And how about the phases of a successful catch and a completion of a play? Look the ball in, secure the catch, and then, of course, the run after the catch that ends up in the end zone.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Well, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Off the bootleg. McMillan. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they march off another 15 against your squad.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against?
Encroachment, defense.
So it wasn't the line that jumped that time, the second level.
No, that's a great observation because most of the time it's those guys up front so eager to get off on the snap. They do it, but in this case, you're exactly right. Second level, probably because they moved up to the first level, and that hurts them.
Lets it fly for Thielen. And he fires one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. Then he'll take it all the way up near the 30-yard line.
Brandon, it's not a bad time to take a shot downfield. You've got a 1st and 5, but you've got to hope that the worst thing that comes out of it is an incompletion. Instead, this is good coverage, and it winds up being intercepted.
Gonna let one fly for Robinson. That's caught at the 25. And all the way down to the 24-yard line. It's a big-time play there for the Bears. 47 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Sliding out of the pocket. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. This secondary has been roasted in this first half, but they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball.
Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back, but that's one step in the proper direction.
That is caught at the 7. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. First time they've hooked up here. Good for 17 and a first down.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Bears. Trey Burton with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Bears will extend their lead. Now he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
Sturgis out now to kick this one off. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And last time, 1-play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, you got a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Off the bootleg. McMillan. Oh, he almost had it. Already with 1 interception, just missing his second there.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
And he's got Kyle Rudolph. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. 3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a first down. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Looking to throw. McMillan. And Rudolph has it left side. Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and I think the Bears have recovered. They have. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee.
Pass interference. Defense.
So flag for the contact, pass interference.
And I know that you're going to look at me and roll your eyes, and rightfully so, because you know what I'm going to say. Doesn't the defender have a right to the football as well?
No, I don't like defenders.
That's because you spent too much time with me. Okay, I'll side with you on this one. Here's the correct call.
It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. That one good for 10 yards. And they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches.
Look, the first down marker is out there, but sometimes it's hard to find for an offense when they're in a long yardage situation, which usually means throw the football. In this case, they went against the tendency and ran it. And, boy, the reward was there. A big, big pickup. And guess what? It's now 3rd and very short in order to try and pick up a first down. Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be 2nd down. Howard all alone in the backfield on 2nd and goal.
Watch it now, Barney.
Trying to punch it in with Howard. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago. Jordan Howard, his first touchdown on the year. And the Bears will add on to their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Sturgis adds the PAT, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. To throw on 2nd down, McMillan, and his throw's going to be incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why they look lethargic, out of sync, and this shows on the scoreboard.
Green 39! Green 39!
On 3rd down, McMillan, open man is Thielen, it's complete. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. This quarterback now 10 of 17 throwing the ball. He's got a 1st and 10. Off play action. McMillan. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3.
Set! Blue landed!
From the gun, McMillan. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. Back to throw. McMillan, and almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down.
An attempt at a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. "14 seconds, all that's left to this first half as they come up on 1st down. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Now he's forced out left. Now he'll let it go on the run. Deep left side. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Adam Shaheen was the intended target. And now it's 2nd down. After the incompletion, they'll try once more from the 20-yard line on 2nd and 10. They'll throw now on the final play. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. So we reach halftime with the visiting Bears out on top here. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you guys in a bit. But first, let's take a look around the NFL here on this first Sunday of October. We'll get things started up at Ford Field in Detroit. And they are nearing halftime with the Steelers out in front. Ben Roethlisberger at it again. 3 touchdown passes. From there, it's over to our nation's capital to check on the Redskins at home at FedEx Field. And things didn't work out for them as they fall to the visiting Philadelphia Eagles. Carson Wentz, 4 touchdown passes in the victory. Finally, we finish at MetLife Stadium to see what's going on with the Jets. And they've got the lead in their matchup with the Tampa Bay Bucks. Nick Chubb, the lone touchdown there as he's cashed one in on the ground. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Set to resume. Here we go with the second half. The Bears holding the lead and ready to receive the kick. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll be stopped just shy of the 25 with a penalty marker down. Here's the call.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. On the toss play, Howard finding some room at midfield and brought down across the 50 to the 49-yard line. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a 1st down.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Howard with his sights on a 3rd straight 1,000-yard season to begin his career. Here's 1st and 10. He's going to air one out. So they took a shot on 1st down but couldn't connect.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Burton. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
There's a completion to the tight end, and I think that we're looking at something out of central casting, frankly.
Absolutely.
I mean,
size, the hands.
Speed. I mean, can flat out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you?
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask.
Face mask. Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And that's off the mark, incomplete.
And there's a good opportunity to just want to ride there. A drop pass. I guess that's why they call them running backs and not catching backs.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They pitch out to Howard. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Jordan Howard with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Bears will extend their lead. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
Sturgis for the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Sturgis out now to kick this one off. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here at half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line.
Here we go. Blue 90.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. McMillan. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Here we go now.
On 1st and 10, McMillan. And a quick throw here, that's complete. A good cover defensively as they get to him just beyond the 45 after the juke. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Set. Green 39.
Off the play fake, McMillan. Now he'll let it go deep left side. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd.
He's got to be kicking himself right there. His team's already picked off 2 passes. That would have been the 3rd in the game. And, boy, they've really played well attacking the football.
The Vikings on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This time it's 3rd and 3.
Patriot.
Operating from the gun, McMillan. And he finds Cook. And he'll be brought down with the first down and a late flag here, too. And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure.
Defense.
So they will accept the penalty and move forward.
Automatic first down.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage.
Set. Blue 90.
Throwing on 1st down. McMillan. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Works his way inside the 30 on a pickup of 4.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run in the pass, but in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right, it might go to them in this game.
I like that, MVU. Well done.
That one good for 7 as this long drive continues and the chains move again. This quarterback now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10.
Set. Green 39.
A give. This is Cook. And they'll get him down right about the 20. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
Here we go now. Green 90.
Off the bootleg. McMillan. And Rudolph has it, the tight end. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that, but But it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost as bread and butter as a good running back dive play.
Looking to throw. McMillan. And this is going to be incomplete.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on third down.
Now the holder's going to keep it. He's going to try to run for it. They're not going to get it. They try to move the chains with a surprise, but it's a turnover on downs. Eddie Jackson with a tackle. Here again comes the captain of this offense, leading his crew back out there now. He's had one of those games that any quarterback loves, not only being able to complete some passes, but some deep passes.
And it's pretty to watch. I mean, it's an absolute joy to see, but let's face it, we got to give a little bit of credit where it's deserved, right?
Well, the protection's been great, if that's where you're going.
Yeah, protection's been phenomenal, but how about how it's been? I'm just going to go ahead and call it, partner. You could smell the desperation in that fake, couldn't you? Down big, they had to try something. No one was fooled.
I think you're exactly right. With this deficit, though, go ahead and give it a shot. Didn't work out. In the end, I guess it doesn't hurt too much. And he'll lose yardage here. Back to the 15. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. After the loss to start out, here's second and 11. Again, it's Howard. And he roams across the 20 to the 24-yard line. They get 9 yards back on the run there, and they're left with a much more makeable 3rd and 2.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. They'll try to run for it with Howard. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
Well, partner, none of these runs individually have added up to a whole lot.
Now, 3 plays, all 3 short runs, but together a first down.
Yeah, it's amazing how the narrative changes when you string them together.
On first down, they run with Howard. He works his way forward for a couple up past the 30.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. On play action, they'll throw. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. He's been big, 2 touchdowns earlier. Now he's got a first down here.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is
pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Daniil Hunter in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
Well, going deep here for Taylor. And that one almost intercepted. Call it a 50-50 ball. It falls incomplete, and now 3rd down.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down.
Green 39. Green.
On first down, McMillan finding his safety valve here. That's complete. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Back to throw. McMillan. And Cook has it, left side. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. They'll give him a yard on the play, and that'll bring up second down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
To throw on second down. McMillan, and complete. Right side, the tight end Rudolph. 8th catch for him now. He's been a big factor. And it's a first down.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
Handoff comes to Cook. And no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 47.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run.
3-19.
Looking to throw on second down. McMillan. Wide open receiver complete. And he's got this down to the 35. First target, first catch, and a first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
On first and 10, McMillan. And his throw is incomplete. He was looking for his tight end there, Kyle Rudolph. That'll bring up second down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Here's second and 10 now from the 35.
Here we go now. Blue 90.
Throwing again on second and 10. McMillan. Now he'll let this one go. Deep left. And this is what here? Incomplete, they say. It looked like it was intercepted, but he apparently did not get the 2 feet down in bounds.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield.
False start, offense.
They expect this from the visiting team when playing indoors, but not the home team.
They're supposed to get all the advantages, right? The home crowd's supposed to help them. They forgot where they were, perhaps.
3-19.
Throwing on third and long. McMillan. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. A gain of 19 and picking up the first. Now a run with Cook. He's to the 10. And he's all the way down to the 6-yard line.
Holding, offense.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Offensive line wasn't set. There's the flag, and 5 yards back they go.
Quarterback has to look around and make sure that his team is ready to go. Sometimes the quarterbacks go faster than is necessary.
That's going to set him back 5 yards. From the gun, McMillan. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And a pretty little juke move there on a nice gain. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and it'll be a 2nd and long. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've converted 6 times and could use a 7th here. Here it's 3rd and 3.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
Off the bootleg. McMillan. And with a flag down, he goes down. So they're able to sack him. Now the penalty looks like it could be holding. Let's find out. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it. Brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And Rudolph has got it. The big tight end for a Viking touchdown. Kyle Rudolph, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings are able to close the gap just a bit. Wow, talk about a big 4th down conversion for the score. Defensively, how do you let that happen?
I think you start with the offense, and you give them credit for going for it and having that kind of, well, let's face it, audacity. But defensively, I think you're right on target, partner. There's no way something like that's supposed to happen in that situation. You're supposed to be able to shut that down and get the ball back for your own team. Instead, they give up not just a big play, but a touchdown.
A give to Howard. And flags come in as he gets forward for about 3 yards. Now let's check on the call.
Holding, offense.
So some holding over on the left side of that O-line.
And I know for the guys trying to move those big defensive people, they'd love for them to stay in one spot. But they move around so quick and so fast that sometimes you just have to grab them.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty.
Detroit! Detroit!
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Forced out to his left. Fighting to stay upright. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete.
They certainly thought they had him surrounded and probably thought they were going to get him on the ground and get the sack, but he was able to elude that. And even though it threw it incomplete downfield, if you're a defensive back, you're loving the pressure that you're seeing from your front.
A play-action fake. They'll look to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at about the 31. And the return stops at the 39-yard line. So they get the takeaway, but that's just step 1. They still have a lot of work to do.
But they don't want to focus on that now. Now it's about getting the ball in the end zone and hoping they can take it away again.
Yeah, still a 3-score game, though, 4th quarter. Throwing to start the drive. McMillan, and he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. A gain of 6 there on 1st. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
Looking to throw. McMillan, and the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
From the gun on 3rd down. McMillan, and that is incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
Set. 319.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And this one hauled in by Rudolph. And now this is going to be close. The defense says they stopped him, and they did. Now, they've clearly made a conscious decision here to be more aggressive in the late stages of this game here in the second half.
And I get it. In this situation, if you want to be aggressive out near midfield, you feel good about your defense maybe, or just, hey, I thought I had a proper play call. But how about the guys that just stopped them? How good do they feel right now? You want to go for it here? We shut you down? They're over on the bench right now feeling great. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all three still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage. Use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. And he's got this down to the 35.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
So they're down here in the fourth, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration, not a good play.
They go with Howard again. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call.
Holding, offense.
So on the big tight end, holding. Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight to learn how to do it without holding.
On the handoff, this is Howard. And he stopped immediately there. And now Jordan Howard slow to get to his feet, so they will stop play here. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. He'll look to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, is going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. A good convergence there defensively, only a yard, and it's second down.
So many things have to come together just right for a screen pass to break for big yardage. The blocking, the timing of the pass to the runner, everything has to fit together just right. But on that play, the defense was able to disrupt things and hold it to a short gain.
And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. Time for a break. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. Back to throw. McMillan. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked by Nick Kwiatkowski. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
They'll start things on first with Torrey Cohen. And out across midfield down to the 45. That good for 22 and a first down.
Sometimes those lines that are drawn on a grease board or in a playbook, they come to life out on the field, don't they? And we just saw down that outside handoff to the right.
That right tackle, he gets excited for that call, doesn't he?
He does, because he just wants to dominate his guy and say, listen, I was the point of attack. I took care of business. That's why you're able to get downfield and add all those yards to your total.
Yeah, really nice gain there.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
Detroit! Detroit!
Mike 56. Mike 56. Hey, I'm coming.
This is Cohen. And he's going to get forward for about 5, but that may be coming back. What say you, Mr. Referee?
Holding offense.
You need your wide receivers as blockers. Sometimes they get a hold.
The big runs are often a result of what they do on the perimeter. In this case, got caught holding, and this one will come back.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. They'll hand it off now. Williams. And I think we've got a hold here. It's a 5-yard pickup for the moment. Let's see what our referee says.
Holding offense.
So he was holding from that left tackle position.
Everyone tries to keep their hands inside when they're blocking ever since they liberalized the rules where you can extend them out. But sometimes they get out a little wide and they get detected grabbing some cloth.
Defense still with 3 timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them here as the kneel down comes. So it's 3rd and long, and defensively not a real surprise. They're in the dime.
All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
And they take a knee. A lot of scoring. There's no doubt about that in this one, Charles. Points, they were not at a premium. They were pretty easy to come by.
They were, but it was fun, wasn't it? Because both teams finding ways to click. And you know people who love this game, they also love baseball games that are 14-11 with 3 or 4 home runs mixed in.
So for Chicago, it took a few weeks, but they finally get their first win of the season here in Week 4. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Dallas Cowboys. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, the defeat is their first of the year as they drop to 3-1. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Lambeau to take on the Packers.